probably tag. I could tag you too. Go. I'll probably tag. I could tag you too.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of WBGR Network. Any questions or concerns about what is said should be directed to the show host, whose information will be provided upon request.
My brothers keep a show, I gotta let them know. Tuesday, 7 p.m., gotta let them know. 3 M's meant to model, gotta multiply. God gets all the glory, hands in the
Sports is what we do. It's the fast track at peak speed, moving across the ice, blockers, hitters, B-team, beatdowns, and knockouts, doubleheaders, playoffs, touchdowns, smackdowns, on the mat or on the track. The spirit of a champion. The triple-double. Make that double front flip. This is what we do.
I'll probably tag. I could tag you too.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of WBGR Network. Any questions or concerns about what is said should be directed to the show host, whose information will be provided upon request.
My brothers keep a show, I gotta let them know. Tuesday, 7 p.m., gotta let them know. 3 M's meant to model, gotta multiply. God gets all the glory, hands in the
There with me. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Welcome to My Brother's Keeper television show, where we ignite a spirit of excellence through mentoring, modeling, and multiplying. I'm thrilled to have you join us on this Tony the Tiger Terrific Tuesday. It's simply great. You know, when you were a kid and you saw Tony the Tiger put up his hand and say, "It's great." That's what we got going on tonight. It's simply great. In fact, this show is going to be epic. But before we dive into today's empowering content, here are a few quick housekeeping rules. If you would like to join in the conversation, our call-in number is 301-429-9247 or simply 301-429-WBGR. are. Also, don't forget to like and share this broadcast with your network. And for even more inspiring content, head on over to our My Brother's Keeper YouTube channel, where you can like and subscribe to stay updated on all of our latest episodes. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen, let's make today's show one to remember. All right. Okay, let's kick this off. Vote.org. 133 days until vote November the 5th, 2024. And of course, we know we go to vote.org, where you can find all of the information pertaining to your specific state and the rules and regulations. And notably, in the upcoming November 5th, 2024 election, a significant portion of Congress seats will be on the ballot, totaling 468 across both chambers. This includes the election for approximately 1/3 of the Senate, with about 35 seats available, and all of 435 seats in the House of Representatives that are up for election. And also, it is important to highlight the historical context to date. There have been 12 African American senators in U.S. history, underscoring the ongoing importance of diversity and representation in our electoral process. Hashtag vote. Can you say hashtag vote? Also, for those who are returning citizens and their families engaging in this electoral process, it is crucial, very crucial. The information on voting rights and specific state regulations can be found at vote.org. And also to note, some states, including Vermont, 99.8% Caucasian, and Idaho, 81% Caucasian, allow individuals to vote even while serving time. This is why we say hashtag vote, the importance of voting. And this does underscore the varying laws across the country and the importance of understanding your voting rights and requirements. Hashtag vote. Can you say hashtag vote? This is why we must vote. And there are a number of issues that we do have on the ballot. We have abortion rights, and we have the John Lewis Act, and so that deals with the reparation of African American slavery individuals who are descendants of slavery. So definitely we want to make sure that our vote count. So we do know that it starts at your local level, on to your Congress level, on to the Senate level, and now November the 5th, 2024, we vote for, guess who? The President of the United States. But where we make the change, ladies and gentlemen, let me just share this. This is, say, Washington, D.C. We have ANC commissioners, then we have our council members, then we have the mayor, then we have the delegates. And the delegate is powerful because they can influence and cause some change in Congress as well as in the state. So whatever your district level in a state, you then go in and you cause some changes, and you shake it up, you stir it up, as Congressman John Lewis stated, make some good trouble, and you cause them to come out publicly for you because they came and understood privately what your needs are. And then from the House, the Congress, then the Senate, and then the president. So it means nothing a lot of times when we just turn around and we're voting for the presidency. We need to get in the local levels, then to the House, and then the Senate, and then the presidency. So this is why we vote. I'm trying to tell you, it changes. It changes, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I finished with voting. Hashtag vote. Okay, let's get right into our African American moment and the person that we're going to feature. But before we get into the feature of the African American moment, it is brought to you by the Angels of Hope, a ministry dedicated to supporting the people, collaborating with the community, and cultivating resources. Ladies and gentlemen, our African American moment person is Satchel Paige. Leroy Satchel Paige was a legendary African-American baseball pitcher who became one of the most iconic figures in the history of the sport. Let me back that up for a minute. Who became one of the most iconic figures in the history of the sport. So we look at the life and the legacy. Satchel Paige was born on July 7th, 1906 in Mobile, Alabama. Let me correct that for my Alabamians get on me. Mobile, Alabama, and the exact date is debated. He began his professional baseball career in the Negro League in 1920 and later became the first African American pitcher in Major League Baseball. Check this out. And American League in 1948 as well. So Paige's remarkable pitching career spanned several decades, earning him numerous accolades and cementing his status as a baseball legend. He was also dominant pitching prowess. Satchel Paige was renowned for his exceptional pitching abilities, including blazing fastball and devastating curveballs. He mesmerized fans with his pinpoint control and strategic pitching tactics, often outsmarting batters with his uncanny ability to read their tendencies. He also was trailblazing. He trailblazed integration of baseball. Paige played a pivotal role in breaking the color barrier in Major League Baseball, paving the way for future generations of African American players. His signing with the Cleveland Indians in 1948 made him the oldest rookie in MLB history at the age of 42 and helped to accelerate the integration of the sport. Check this out, brainstorming and showmanship. Beyond his achievements in professional baseball, Paige was known for his barnstorming tours, traveling across the country to showcase his talents to audience of all backgrounds. He captivated crowds with his charismatic personality, entertaining antics, and unparalleled skill on the mound, becoming a beloved figure in American sports. Hey, check this out. Satchel Paige was renowned for his colorful personality and witty aphorisms, known as satchelisms. Check this out. Aphorisms, and he called it satchelisms back in the 40s, which offered insight into his unique perspective of life and baseball. His humorous quips and philosophical musings endeared him to fans and endeared him a reputation as one of the most quotable figures in sports history. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just take a pause. Who we're talking about? Satchel Leroy Paige. Enduring legacy and inspiration, Paige's legacy continues to inspire generations of baseball players and fans, transcending racial and cultural boundaries. He remains a symbol of perseverance, resilience, and excellence, embodying the spirit of overcoming adversity and achieving greatness against all odds. He's majestic, the majestic mound maestro. Paige's majestic presence on the mound mesmerized audience as he masterfully controlled the game with his unparalleled pitching prowess. Trailblazing talent Paige shattered barriers and defied expectation, blazing a trail for future generations of African American athletes in professional baseball. With his showman supreme skills, Paige entertained crowds with his electrifying performances and larger-than-life personality, leaving a lasting impression on all who witnessed his majestic magic. Satchel Paige's wisdom His wordsmith skills were legendary as he coined timeless phrases and imparted invaluable life lessons through his witty and insightful sexualisms. As an internal icon of the sport, Mr. Page's legacy lives on, immortalized in the annals of baseball history as a symbol of perseverance, courage, and excellence. Mr. Page's remarkable talent, pioneering spirit, and enduring legacy have cemented his place as one of the greatest athletes and cultural icons of the 20th century. And I just want to add this last note: a career that spanned over 28 years, and at age 42 in 1948, after baseball became integrated, he made it to the majors and was named Rookie of the Year at age 42. He spent 2 years, check this out, 2 years with the Cleveland Indians and 3 with the St. Louis Browns. And at age 59, he came back and pitched 3 scoreless innings for the Kansas City Athletics. Ladies and gentlemen, Facebook family, baseball fans, that is Satchel Paige. If you would like to sponsor an African American moment, please contact us at mybrother'skeepertv@gmail.com or simply call 240-432-5790 or 240-432-5790. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get down to the get down. Get down to the get down. When I came in and I saw this gentleman, I thought I was going to be seeing someone my height, my size. But this gentleman towers over me. He's 6'4", ladies and gentlemen, 6'4". And so therefore I call myself 5'11", almost 6, okay? So check this out. Mykal, the Professor Fox, a phenomenal pugilist, born in 1995 in Forestville, Maryland. Mykal the Professor Fox is a pugilist prodigy who began his boxing journey at the tender age of 4. Hailing from Dream Team Boxing in Clinton, Maryland, he now dominates the welterweight division with finesse and flair. Mr. Fox is not just a boxer, he is a beacon of brilliance, a master of maneuvering in the ring. With his lightning-fast footwork and impeccable technique, he embodies the essence of a pure pugilist. Check it out, he is the professor. As we step into the year 2024, Mr. Fox, he stands tall with an awe-inspiring record of 22 victories, including 4 knockouts. His resilience, determination, and dedication to his craft have propelled him to greatness, leaving a trail of triumph in his wake. Let Mr. Mykal, the Professor Fox journey ignite the fire within you. Remember, life is a boxing ring, and every challenge is an opportunity to showcase your strength. So check this out. You still got time to get all those loved ones that you want to get around and see this awesome, epic interview as we embrace the spirit of perseverance and let your dreams soar to imaginable heights. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, with you, and we'll be with Mr. Mykal, the Professor Fox, coming right at you after this interview. I'm excited, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited. We'll be right back as Chuck Woolery on the Love Connection.
It's the fast
2 and
track
2.
at peak speed, moving across the ice, blockers, hitters, B-team, beatdowns, and knockouts, double headers, playoffs, touchdowns, smackdowns, on the mat or on the track. The spirit of a champion. The triple-double. Make that double front flip. This is what we do.
these difficult times of the spread of the coronavirus and you're not able to connect with your church congregation, WBGR Gospel Network has the perfect solution for you. We have the capability to live stream you remotely from any location of your choice. Your members and thousands around the world will be able to see and hear your message, donate to your ministry, and now know that your ministry exists. Let us connect you to the world. WBGR Network. Where you go, we follow. Contact us today, 301-429-9247. That's 301-429-WBGR.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this episode of My Brother's Keeper television show, where we do have Mr. Mykal, the Professor Fox, up in the house. So definitely welcome my brother into the house.
Thank you for having me.
All right, man, my pleasure, and thank you for trusting me with this process of interviewing with you. I tell you, when I came in, I didn't think you was gonna be that tall, man.
Yeah, you know why? Yeah, a lot of people are like, "Whoa, man, you kind of tall."
Yeah, I was like, wow, But I tell you what, tell me about Mr. the Professor Fox.
Well, I mean, like I said, you got most of it. My name's Mykal Fox. I'm from Prince George's County, Maryland. Mm-hmm. I first started boxing at the age of 4. I walked into Hillcrest Boxing Gym. I was trained.
Hillcrest.
Yeah, Hillcrest Boxing Gym. I was trained by Coach Brotha McCann, who he actually died. He actually passed away in 2013. The year I actually graduated from high school. But before that, my dad would take over to train us, to train me and my brother Alontes Fox, my elder brother. Mm-hmm. But we always had great respect for Mr. McCann. He started us off, so I can't talk about my journey without mentioning the time spent with him.
Absolutely.
Because he introduced a sport to me that has stuck with me through an amateur career and now into a 10-year pro career. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm from the area, Prince George's County, Maryland. Forestville. I rep this area any chance I get. No matter where I go in the world, I tell them I'm from Forestville, Maryland. So.
Okay. Well, definitely, I can appreciate the fact of you're honoring your coach. Your previous coach, because who you honor does indeed determine your access. And so your access into the arena, the professional arena of boxing, have proven to be a good entry, and you're continuing with that stamina and that stability to move forward in boxing. So definitely we thank you so much for your talent and your gift as it's being displayed to inspire others.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So definitely it is a good thing. So as we go into, I know that boxing at 4, and then 4 years old,
yes,
and you were taken into the to the gym. You started boxing, and then you said you don't want to leave. What's that all about, man?
It's just, the story goes is just my brother was playing football with some guys that they were a little older than him. They said their dads were like, "Hey man, we found this boxing gym. We're gonna go check it out." And my dad and my brother went with them, and I tagged along as the younger brother, and I just put some gloves on and I tried it. I enjoyed like hitting the bag and stuff. I was hitting the bag. I ignored, bells.
But nothing hit you back at that time.
Nothing hit me back yet, but I had enjoyed, hitting the bags and things like that. Like they had the bell, ringing. I would just punch through the bell and stuff until Mr. McCann, told my dad, like, well, he's here. Why don't you show him some stuff? Started hitting pads, and then I probably when I was 5, that was when I first sparred. So I came in at 4, but I was going to be turning 5 in October.
Okay.
So. Then I tried sparring and things like that. And sparring, it's a wake up call. It's a reality check. But I got beat up. I got beat up by the first person I remember sparring. I got beat up by Dusty Harrison, who is and still an undefeated fighter from Washington D.C.
Okay.
So I got beat up, but I still never really wanted to leave the gym. I just kept coming back. You know, even now, I talk to a coach from the area that just remembers me as a kid, which is like, even good or bad, you never I never turned my head. I never, I never rolled over. I never rolled over for nobody. I just always kept trying, and that stuck with me.
As you're talking, I'm hearing that that's a testimony that you need to put that part in the book that you do write, because you will write a book. So as you write, that fortitude, that tenacity to overcome adversity. So you didn't win in the first sparring, but you continued to move in. Although you were hit, you were knocked down, you continued to press. And that's sometimes as what life does to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, no matter what, I just, just persisted, and I did not relent. So, and now, it's become, even as a kid, it was just a hobby, but now, it's a lifestyle.
Okay. So you were able to perfect it to the point where it's now a profession.
Absolutely.
So at what point did you know that you wanted it to be the profession, that this was your gifting and your grace?
Honestly, it was when I was about 17 years old.
Okay.
I fought through all of that time, but what I actually realized at about, what was that? I was 14, going on 15. I fought in this national tournament. My dad said, "If you win, I'll get you the iPhone 4." That was the best iPhone at the time.
That was many moons ago.
Yeah, right. If I said, "If you win, I'll get you a new iPhone." And that's when I realized, or looking back in hindsight, I realized that, I mean, you were always a prize fighter. You were always a prize fighter. For iPhone. I won my only national title after that tournament, and I got that iPhone, and that was incentive for me. So once I turned 17, I was nervous about turning pro, but 18. Excuse me. I turned 18.
Okay.
I was nervous about going pro, but I still did it, and
What encouraged you? I mean, 2014, we're a little past the 10-year mark, but what encouraged you to push past that, to say, I want this to be my profession?
Well, I was sparring. Another fighter from the area. His name is Tyron Grant, and he was getting ready for a professional fight. Okay. I was doing 10 rounds with him at a time. We sparred like 2 or 3 times within a 2-week period, and then my dad told me, like, I don't really have time to try to teach you how to be an amateur boxer. That you already have a style of pro. You're doing 10 rounds with a pro fighter who has at the time about 6 or 7 fights.
Wow.
And he's like, he said, man, there's a local promoter in the area. He'll turn you pro. I was like, if you think it's time, let's do it.
Okay.
And
I mean, how you feel when you told him, if it's time, let's do it? How did you feel right there in that moment?
Right in that time, I was nervous, but I put a lot of trust in my dad. My dad's been my coach since after we left from Mr. McCann. We parted ways with Mr. McCann. He's been my coach since. So I mean, he's seen me from the ground up. So when he said he thought it was time, he said, "Man, look, you're better off just turning pro now."
Okay.
And because at first I was getting ready for the Golden Gloves.
Wow.
Getting ready for the Golden Gloves. He said, we should do it. And then and once I found out, you can. Now I can turn. They'll pay me to do something I've been doing for all those years. I'm in.
And now you could take it to the next level.
Yes.
But ladies and gentlemen, look at this gentleman here. Don't he look like just the average typical nerd right here with his glasses on? But I guarantee you, when he take his glasses off and get in the ring with some gloves on, totally different image that you have before you. Absolutely. So let's check this out. And nerd is not to insult, but that's to me that's a good thing, because that's the book piece, that knowledgeable piece of acquiring knowledge. And so a lot of times it's like that little guy that with the glasses on, and people be like, nah, I don't expect too much out of him. Right. But that's almost a Clark Kent Superman transition.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So it's like you lose the glasses and now you show up as Superman, and they be like, what the what?
Yeah, I've actually stood next to like photographs of like me without my glasses and my fight uniform, post fight victory, everything like that. And people say, that's him right there. They point at that picture, then they look at me like, that's him? I'm like, yeah, like, really, it's me. I take the glass off, and he's like, oh, that is him. I said, and I look at the glass like, these things are really deceptive. They're really deceptive.
Yeah.
So
but that's what I was basically sharing. It's like, wait a minute, you know. But it's a totally different person that you get when you get in the ring.
Absolutely.
Well, check this out right here, though. Let me move around a little bit. Let me just take a left. I'm putting on my blinker, and I want to move to the left a little bit. How important is it to have a network of people who are going where you're going?
I think it's very important to just have like-minded people around. You know, my teammate Gregory Outlaw, my brother, my other teammate.
Shout out to Mr. Outlaw, sharpshooter Greg, sharpshooter Outlaw, and Junior. So he's fighting this Saturday, actually.
No, this Friday.
This Friday. He's fighting this Friday, so definitely we give a shout out to him. And you know, he was on the show interviewing, and so we'll have him back. So right here, the next All Things Boxing, and have him come forth and share the testimony as well of his victory, because we know he's going to be victorious. All right. So again, how important is it to have that bond, that person that's walking with you, going where you're going, as opposed to someone over here that is not going where you're going, that influence?
Yeah, I mean, you just need to have, like I said, like-minded people around. It benefits all of us. It benefits myself and Gregory Outlaw and Alontes Fox. We all train together, and you know, even just people around the area, we're all fighting kind of the same battle. We're all traveling down the same road, so we're the only ones that can relate to each other. So it's important for us to be able to see somebody, get motivated by them, see somebody doing the same thing you do, get motivated by them. I would hope you would get motivated by them, and I mean, try to do a little better, and then you do better, then you push them to do better, and then as everyone grows, it just shines a spotlight on the area.
Okay. How do you take your boxing experience and apply it to life, Mr. Professor?
Well, I mean, well, boxing has just been a part of my life for a long time, but it's taught me a lot of things. It's helped me build my confidence. It's taught me how to, defend myself if that ever if I ever have to. It taught me how to, eat right. It taught me how to, treat my body well. It taught me to exercise. Taught me to be, what I am today. It's very important. I mean, you grow up kind of fast. You learn to, when you're going to amateur tournaments, things like that. You're traveling.
Wow.
I've been on planes. I've been all over the country. My brother has fought in, multiple countries. He's been in other countries. We fought in different states. My brother's fought in other countries. So, I've gotten to see the world. I've fought and sparred people from like Ireland and Australia, Cuba, just wherever. Boxing really really expanded my horizons, just to see the world, just how different the world can be, but how common but a lot of commonalities as well.
Okay, but definitely, I definitely agree with that. So, how different would you say, as you've sparred from across the world, your Ireland, Australia, and your Cuban competitors? What would you say about that?
I mean, there's a lot of different styles. Like, the Ireland, over UK, Europe area, they have a different style from most Cubans. Like, Cubans are very technical. The fighters from the UK, they have
the Mexicans. I'm talking about the Mexicans.
But Mexicans have straight in the center of the ring. Let's do this type of mentality. Even the best boxers, the best Mexican boxers, they're always on the front foot. You have Cuban boxers, typically they fight a lot on the back foot, but they're very, very technical, very, very hard to beat. The fighters from Europe, they might punch hard, but they like to fight at a certain middle to long range. So that's just from like studying the sport, being in the ring with these guys, and just, YouTube is the closest thing to a time machine where we can watch fights from back in the day to now.
Well, it sounds to me that you've studied the craft and you are indeed the professor.
Thank you.
But let me just share this right quick. Over the weekend, boxer Roy Jones came forth and talked about the passing of his son due to suicide, and I just wanted to extend our condolences to the Jones family in the loss of his son, and definitely encourage us to be kind to everyone, because you never know who's going through anything, so your kindness could make the difference. So again, we just want to share our heartfelt condolences and extend prayers to the Jones family. Thank you. So getting back to being the professor and this exposure that definitely broadened your horizon and your knowledge, how far do you want to go in this?
As far as I can. The biggest thing for me is just I want to walk away from the sport when I'm ready to, knowing that I've done all I can with it. Wherever that leaves me, I want to know I did all I could with it. So, I'm 10, like I said, 10 years into a pro career, but at 28 years old, I still have I feel like I still have a lot of time left to do a lot of great things in the sport. Met a lot of great people too.
Okay, a lot of time.
By the time.
Because time is the currency now.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you're making do on what you need to do with that time.
Right.
All right.
I walk away when I'm ready to.
Okay, all right. Now, as you talk about the time, you talk about putting forth your best foot. What are your aspirations going forward? What belt?
I mean, any of them. Like I fought for a world title. I was robbed of a world title back in 2021. I still have dreams of trying to claim one, trying to get one. I feel like I'm only a few steps away.
Wow.
The main thing is the first step in getting back on that road is July 20th. When I make a return to the ring. I've been competition not because I wanted to be, just because despite not being able to fight as regularly as I would like to fight, people are still not. People like managers and promoters still think I'm a danger to whatever fighter they're investing a lot of money into. So when my name comes up, it still means something to sport. And they say,
absolutely.
my name comes up, phones hang up.
Okay. Well, you're the professor.
Yeah.
I mean, who want to put their person in the ring with the professor?
Well, they don't want to put them if they know they haven't studied. So that's all it is.
Even as you're talking now, so walk the people through, not giving away any of your techniques or anything, but your southpaw.
Yes.
So talk to us from a southpaw perspective.
Well, southpaw is like strike one against me, being 6'4", that's strike two, and then knowing that I'm tough and I'm willing to endure it, and I can actually fight, that's strike three. So that's what keeps me out of the ring for long periods of time. Jeter Promotions is looking to change that. But what I will say, as a southpaw, I mean, it's no real secret with me being a southpaw and me being as tall as I am. I'm always trying to maintain a range where I can land big shots and they can't hit me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Footwork's good, so I'm always trying to step to the outside. In the open stance, I'm trying to step to the outside and win that dominant position because it positions me to land both hands better.
Okay, all right. Without giving up too much, I appreciate that.
That's just common knowledge, really.
Yeah. But I mean, just when you get two southpaws in there, man, you got to worry about the headbutting and things like that. But this past weekend or so, I think about 2 weeks now. What did you think about the Tank Davis fight?
The Tank Davis fight.
And Frank Martin and
Frank
Tank
Martin,
Davis.
yeah. So Tank Davis, he did pretty much what I kind of thought he would do, just in the sense that he would apply pressure. And actually, I came in. The fight was on after about the second round. At the second round, it was at the second round that I seen pretty much Frank Martin's moving. He's kind of in the back foot. He's spending a little bit too much time on the ropes already. And I told the people I was watching it with, I said, I said he's using too much. Frank is using too much energy to keep Tank Davis off of him. Yeah. And Tank Davis isn't using a lot of energy, so you don't have to worry about his power dwindling because you're not giving him a reason to punch and exert energy. I said he'll get him in the late rounds because he's just taking his time, and a lot of people don't understand as big of a power puncher Tank Davis is. He's also a boxer. He and I fought 3 times in the amateurs. And the punching power that he has was like the last thing to come to his arsenal. But he was always athletic. He always had fast hands. He's a much better boxer. He's an underrated boxer because he's a much better boxer than most people give him credit for.
Okay. Well, even as I was watching it, Martin was winning the earlier rounds because he was jabbing, punching, and scoring points.
Absolutely.
And then even at that point, it's like he just almost like gassed out. In a sense,
he was slowing down.
Davis was hitting him in the body.
Yeah.
And so that was a good technique and a good, from the coaches to let him know, hit the body so that in the latter rounds, he can't move as much, be as elusive as he is in the beginning rounds.
Yeah. And body, when it comes, it's important to have a good body attack. And it's important for fighters, young fighters, to understand that, a body attack is not something that gives you instant gratification. It's an investment. It's an investment into later into the fight to slow your opponent down. Legs get a little heavier. They're a little fatigued, moving slower, and then it gave Tank Davis an opportunity to land that big left uppercut and finish him up with the straight left.
Man, I saw it, and then even toward like the 5th and on up, I was watching, and then I just began to look at the massiveness of how massive Davis was over Martin, and then he was like getting stronger. It's like he was just breathing fire and getting stronger, and so he put the pressure on even more. And I was like, I was wondering what would, if you could just take just hypothetically, what do you think Martin's his corner was telling him?
Well, his corner was telling him to stay off the ropes, but with Tank applying so much pressure, you want to have as much space as you can. But it's a ring; you're going to run out of space. The best thing Frank could have done is, make his, the way he's circling the ring, as he's traversing the ring, he needs to make his circle just a little smaller, maybe a hard turn. When he gets to the ropes, he made a couple hard turns, but when he made a hard turn, he would kind of still linger along the ropes. After you make that hard turn, at least circle back to the center, and then, make your stand there. Like, and have it in your mind that whatever happens here, whether I'm successful
this is where it's going down.
Whether I'm successful in the exchange, whether I'm successful in the exchange or he's successful in the exchange, whatever's going to happen is going to happen here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then it gives him a little more space for when Tank does try to open up, because he was making Tank miss some big shots.
Yeah.
Frank Martin is an impressive fighter in himself.
Yes.
He just fought Tank Davis.
Yeah.
He's not. I don't think he is to be diminished. His skill set or what he's done in the sport is to be diminished because he lost to Tank Davis. 30 other people did too.
Okay. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know what I see when I even watched and prepared for the interview with you, I see a Thomas Hearns in you.
Yeah, everyone kind of does. Everyone kind of does. They, that was, I guess, the golden era of boxing. So they see a tall boxer, or a tall fighter, they automatically equate them to Tommy Hearns. You're supposed to be like Tommy Hearns. I mean, but I still have my own
Your journey
identity in the sport.
Yeah,
that's my own identity in the sport. I'm a boxer. I fight. I do my best to fight at range, like similar to Tommy Hearns does. But that's what you would teach. That's what you teach any fighter that's tall. It's a hard task to teach, especially like when you have a young man or young lady that is like standing head to head with their opponent with most of their opposition. Then out of nowhere, once somebody have a big growth spurt, you have to teach them. Now you have to teach them. You can hit these guys from a further range, but you're waiting until he's in the range where he can hit you. Keep him in that range where you can't hit him. But it's a hard thing to teach.
Yeah.
So and a lot of people don't know. It's like you got to train a fighter to have a good jab. It doesn't just just because they think man, because a fighter's tall, he automatically has a good jab. You have to work at that the way you work at every other punch.
Okay.
So if you don't and you're tall, that's when it just looks worse. But if you're average height and he don't use a jab much, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But when you hear a guy 6'3", 6'4", anything like that at a low weight class, it's like, why isn't he jabbing? You know what I mean? Things like that.
But what I'll do is I want to have a conversation with you afterwards.
Okay.
And then I'll share with you some things, and then you can take back to your coach, and y'all can perfect that thing.
All right, cool.
Okay? Because I'm just saying, I just see a little something that I just know, man, that, that'll move you right on up a little bit more quicker. Expeditiously,
right.
But yeah, definitely. And hey, like it, not, but, I think it'll add some value.
Right.
All right. So what would be some of your passions outside of the ring? What are some of the charitable organizations that you volunteer to?
I actually haven't done any charitable organizations, but outside of like my own career, I help train other amateur boxers. Like that's my way of just.
Well, I'm trying to be a boxer. Can you train me, man? Can you train me, man?
You come to the gym. You come to the gym. We'll see what you got. But I help train a bunch of young kids because the way fighters that came before us, they helped us along in our journeys. And I feel like I have an obligation to
Pay
also
forward.
to assist like pro fighters that are coming up under me now, as well as amateur fighters. Just like hearing lending my experience, and the fighters that lended their experience to me helped tremendously. So I think it helps to hear I don't talk down to these kids like, look, I'm here, you there. This is what you got to do. I just give them my experience, and I tell them, I speak from a place where I'm just trying to help, where you have some people that are just like, I did it like this, so you got to do it like this is how you should do it. Just take after me. I'm like, no, everybody has their own identity in the sport. But I'm gonna do what I can. Give you a couple nuggets of wisdom. If you take them and they stick with you, cool. But that's the thing. That's what you'll have to do throughout your career, throughout life. People are gonna give you advice all the time, so you listen to all of it. But you do have to siphon out what's gonna apply to you.
What's going to add the value,
right?
The necessary value
right.
that is needed to move forward. Yeah, that's very powerful. Very powerful. What do you think about a lot of the youth violence, the suicide, the shootings? What do you think about what's going on as far as your generation?
I just think that,
And what do you think can help it?
I think the biggest thing is that, a lot of these young people have nothing to occupy their time. A lot of it, they go home and just until mom or dad get home, they have about 4 hours to get into some trouble. Of course, the home needs to be, be structured well. Like, I grew up, both my parents aren't together, but both of them were in my life, and that paid dividends. And I think, I
like that it paid dividends.
Yes, it paid. I think it paid dividends.
Absolutely.
We definitely could have found trouble. That's the only thing you can go to find. And my parents, they didn't agree on everything, but what Troy Fox and Ramona Lyon did know is you're not gonna be sitting around the house. Find a sport to play. Find an instrument. Find something that's gonna occupy your time.
That's right.
Because it's so very easy to find trouble. It's so very easy to find trouble. And if you don't stop it. If you don't stop it early, it turns into, criminal trouble. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what's happening. These young people, they just don't have, they don't have anything to keep themselves occupied.
Times are different. Times are very different today than it was yesterday. But yet you still had latchkey kids.
Yes.
Even when I was coming up, you still had latchkey kids. But definitely you had more interaction.
Yeah, I was a latchkey kid.
In the community.
Yeah, I was a latchkey kid, me and my brother. But, we would go to school, come home, probably eat, start homework. Then my dad's picking us up to take us to the gym. Like I said, there was no time to get into trouble. And like as I was a kid, and my brother too, we thought we were missing out on stuff. Stuff would happen around the neighborhood. even like good stuff and bad. The kids be playing basketball, whatever. And then some kids are they're fighting and things like that. At the time, there was a time where I thought, man, I'm missing what could be happening there. But then I realized like how much like I see where some of my friends are now, and then I realized, you know, that 3 hours in the gym that 3 hours I spent in the gym kept me out of a lot of trouble.
That's right.
Kept me out of a lot of trouble.
Training and gaining discipline.
Yeah, and then by the time I got home, finish your homework, then I'm going to sleep. I'm too tired to really do anything else.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Too tired.
Darker, and it's dark outside. You know, so that limits the amount of you know idling that we had, just because like so we had the weekends all Saturday and Sunday, and I mean if anybody got if I got in any trouble as a kid, it was on the weekends. But from Monday to Friday, you know. My time was occupied, and that helped a lot.
That's good. That's good. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just interviewed Mykal, the Professor Fox, and his name is spelled Mykal. Come on, somebody. And I spell mine Mich, the traditional way, but definitely taking nothing from this stellar champ. And we look forward to definitely seeing this brother fight. I'll be there Friday night as well to support Brother Outlaw, and hope to see you there. But right now, is there any parting words you want to speak to the listening audience?
Any parting words? Just really,
yes, sir.
Yeah. At the end of your life, you can either have memories or you can have regrets. I myself chose memories. I suggest you do the same. Go whatever you're thinking about doing, apply yourself. Especially to young fighters, you get out of this sport, what you put into it. A 3 day a week fighter is going to get 3 day a week results. 6 and 7 day a week fighters get 6 and 7 day a week results.
Wow.
That's a quote from my brother Alontes Fox.
Well, I definitely thank you so much, man, for trusting me with you and sitting with me on this episode of All Things Boxing. And what I am doing is bringing in boxers, trainers to come and tell the story and reach the young people or reach the people and move boxing as it comes back to DC to pop it and give DC a voice in the boxing arena equally as well. So I want to thank you so much, man.
Appreciate you having me.
For coming out and sharing your story and your talent, time, and gifting, okay?
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as our time together ends, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude for you joining us today. Remember, the journey to greatness is not a solo endeavor, but one shared with those who uplift and inspire us. Surround yourself with people whose eyes light up when they see you, and remember that progress is often achieved through steady perseverance. And lastly, the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next, so keep climbing. Tune in next week for another electrifying episode of My Brother's Keeper every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on WBGR TV. I'm Pastor Michael Green. Have a winning week. God bless you. Did you give him a smile, man?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. You give him one.
I gave him one.